Hello, you have made it to another day. Blessings to all. May you have a great, prosperous week. You know, um, my title. Yeah, you have a purpose, and the Most High has given you something in life that you would need to do. You have something in life that you need to do. You have to take care of it. And when you have to take care of it, Satan. You know how important it is because Satan just does certain things to let you know that this is important. And so you got to kind of have this plan in your life that says that yes, this is the plan, but it's not the ultimate plan. And you just have to be prepared, ready, and equipped for Satan. That you know, I'm not saying expecting him, but you just got to know when you have a purpose that God had created. Satan is already sitting there waiting. He wants to know what you got going on. You know, what do you have going on? And when you have a spirit of calm and peace in your spirit, it just gets under the enemy's skin. It gets under their skin that they can't control you because they 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 jump up at you and they're thinking that you're afraid now. And then and it's like, no, I'm not. And they can say, well, surely you are. And I said, surely I'm not. I rebuke that. And so you're trying to live your life the best way you can. And the purpose has to be fulfilled. So for the Most High, if He told you to do something, then it's got to be done. And that's where we're at. And so many people get off their plan and purpose that the Most High has created them. They're not happy. I'm dealing with people who aren't happy with themselves. They have everything they could possibly want as a human being, but you have some of those, and then you have some of those that are just, they have no real purpose in life. They're just out here. You deal with them as a people pleaser. Yeah. And so, sorry about that. So when you're going through life and you have a purpose, you can't let nobody stop you. You can't let people sidetrack. If you need to take a moment to stop for a minute, like I just did, because I keep trying to figure out something. But when you have to take a moment and stop, then you go back. You stop, and that you make sure you go back if that's what He's telling you to do. Some things doesn't come right away, and some things you got to kind of wait. And when you're waiting, always be trying to do something else. Because we have this, we have this because especially when you're dealing with narc abuse, you have people who are wanting, who really, they don't have a purpose in life, and they want to know what you're doing, because whatever you're doing, they got to be in secret competition in. Whatever you're doing, they got to have that. They got to be the it girl. All this stuff that don't matter to me. To me, it's just a part of this life of when you serve Christ. That the obstacles that come before you, they can be lifted up. You just take it to the Most High, and weed it through on what's more important, and he'll clear your path. He will clear your path. There's going to be people, like I said with my situation, people, you know, from the past, and those are monitored familiar spirits. Someone from your past. You like, I haven't seen anyone, from my old hometown in close to 13, 14, or I'll say like 16, 17 years. And they just pop up in the city you moved to, and you're saying, wait a minute. You know what I mean? So those are monitored familiar spirits. You know, they don't even know what's going on in my life. They took a serious shovel and just went digging. Digging for lies and things, just to try thinking that they could break me, because um, I'm a child of God, and I've been through the fire. I've been in it. I've been through the furry furnace, and I want to live. Mhm. That's all I can say to them. So when you have this going on in your life, you still keep moving. You still keep planning a purpose. Go back. Take a break. Don't forget. Go back. Give it some time. If you're getting frustrated, it's good to take a break when you get frustrated. If you can, take a small break. You know, that's what you want to do. Don't get off the track of doing whatever it is He's called you to do, the Most High. Um, it's just something that I'm never gonna understand. Of people trying to control your life, and they don't want to. They're like that mother that just don't tell you anything. They don't want to tell you what's going on. They just, no, do what I say, and it don't work like that, because I'm a grown ass woman. So, until you lay out what's going on, I as part of my rights, have a choice. And even the Most High don't force nobody to serve Him. Lord knows we got way too many people out of His will. So anything needs to be known, it knows to be known unto me. See, but you're dealing with these narcissists who think, oh no, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and that's, nah, it don't work like that. When it comes to me, it ain't working like that. Nah, you gotta tell me exactly what it is. And you stumbling, you're falling, or you being shifty. Oh well, then you might as well go on ahead. Yeah. So, all right, well, I'm just gonna make this not real short, because I got things to do. I got a purpose, and my purpose is to stay in the will of the Lord more than anything. You better make that your purpose. I mean, I know things happen in life. I get that, but like I said, life is so short. It's so precious, and when you see these mishaps happening every day, don't you leave here without Christ. Let Him be in your heart. Me. I'm still trying to recover from my Bible being stolen, but I know a long time ago, I didn't know nothing about Scripture, and here I am saying, yep, I want to serve Christ. And the Most High laughed at me. He was like, you don't know any Scripture, so how you gonna pray? Because I'm gonna need you to pray with my word. Remind me of my word. And so I remember I would write it down on paper, and then read it over and over again. Like, I don't even need the paper no more. Just repetitive, and it didn't take long because God really wanted me to know it. So it's just something that needs to be done. This situation. You're not really sure. They're trying to throw confusion at you. Are you targeted, or you this? And all these things that you're not supposed to say. You're not supposed to call a person targeted. And it's just that someone wants to have their heyday on you. So when you don't want to engage with people, you don't have to. If I know that something's wrong, I just don't, and that's my right. If I don't want to engage with you or be around you, that's what the restraining order is for, for whatever reason. I guess because I was crafty. If I would have thought about this, I would have done it at the beginning, but they stopped me on that. When I was trying to put restraining orders on certain people, they're doing everything they can to keep me from getting in that courthouse. Everything they can. And so now I literally had no choice but to pack up and leave. So that I wish I really could explain some things, and I will one day, but I'm not gonna do it now. I try to leave the past in the past, and when someone won't want to, I'm just that type of person, because I'm having trouble with people just letting go of the past. Some of them just lying, and I don't even know you. But I respect my fellow choosers. Yeah, I could respect that. So if a man, you ain't never got to tell me, if a man don't want me, then baby, you better believe it. I'm not chasing you. I'm not running after you. And leave it where it is. And I don't know. I guess that's the gift in me that some women, they just can't shake. Doesn't mean I don't care, but if a relationship was, relationship wise, you start to see, but I don't know. I feel, a part of me, that the whole situation with the McDonald case, I kind of feel both people, and that's a part of my gift of feeling people. I can sense that, and just certain things, after a certain amount of time, it's not worth fighting for. You just give up. I mean, there's a purpose on certain things, but there's a certain time. I'm not talking about your life. I'm not at all. But I'm certain saying that you kind of got to give up for this moment. Okay, I can't get to this person, or I can't get to this thing. So I just got to back down for a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's me all day. You don't stress yourself out on stuff. Just back down. Just to, go back to another day or two or whatever. And that's just about it. So, hopefully you all have a wonderful, prosperous day. I know I am. So much to look for. Yeah, it is late. But, I have to stand here and do what God called me to do as a prayer. I don't have to do it all the time, but certain things that the Most High really needs to have me pray on, because so much has been the attack on my name and my son's name, and not having what I needed, and them just treating me like I don't matter. It does hurt, but I matter. God created me, and I'm just a dangling carrot in front of whoever thought that they could get this program popping on me. I'm just a dangling carrot. Because he said those who fear him shall live, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And, these attacks, I'll get through it, because I've been having some attacks on me. And, I can't always be on social media and things. With this program, they just do the dumbest things. And, they just basically try to whittle away what money I do have. And, I'm not understanding the whole gist of that. I'm trying to get employment. And here it is, because, some of the employment, the things I want, I did not want to be management. And so, I don't know what they're thinking, but, I just go about my way. I don't argue, and it bothers people. It bothers people that they can't talk to me. You know what I mean? That they want to so bad, and, they want to get so close to me. And I'm saying, for what? You don't like me, so we're not getting close. And, I just shut certain things down. Be good, everybody. All right. I would normally pray, but I'm not praying tonight. I got to save it. You can go back to my other stuff, but I'm just going to do it, right here amongst my church. So you have a good night.